It's good to have you join us again on Voice of Nigeria, the authoritative choice. And of course, the program is Talking Sports. And my name is Edwin. Of course, in Talking Sports, we do have our guests and my colleagues who are always seated with us. But first, to let you know that Talking Sports is a program where we talk everything sports, and it's nothing but sports. In this edition of the program, we shall be having a very distinguished guest. You know, when I say distinguished in the real sense, because when we talk about football, there are several stakeholders and entities, that come to the football.
GTI Asset Management and Trust Limited is an investment banking outfit with expertise in financial instruments, financially in the finance sector, and also expertise in sports advisory. Because of our unique expertise we have, we also established the Nigerian Football Fund called TNFF. TNFF is an investment fund approved and registered by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Why TNFF fund? The Nigerian Football Fund, like I said, is an investment fund. We expect Nigerians to invest in this fund, and the fund in turn will invest in the sports assets that are commercially viable, assets that have the ability to generate revenue and also return profits and give their investors good returns. That is why in GTI Asset Management and Trust, when we established the Nigerian Football Fund, it's a unique fund, something that has never been done anywhere in this world, is to give Nigerians the opportunity to invest in a fund that has the capacity to use that investment to turn around the fortunes of our sports assets. It is based on that fact that we had this strategic management partnership with the Nigerian Premier Football League in 2022. So we've been working with that league in the past 4 years. And also the FA Cup, which is now called the President Federation Cup. We also have that strategic partnership with the Nigerian Football Federation. And these two sports assets are all driven by the Nigerian Football Fund, TNFF. So it is that TNFF that has supported the Nigerian Premier League, working in full collaboration with the board of the NPFL. So it is that collaboration, that strategic partnership arrangement, that we can see the benefits unfolding now. You will realize that in the last 3 seasons, the Nigerian Premier League has been very stable. In terms of calendar, we've been able to align the league with the international calendar. You can also see there's some high level of discipline in the league now, in terms of orderliness. You can see that even our referees now, their officiating integrity has improved by analysis and evaluation. Potentially is the most viable league in Africa. That gave us the confidence because we looked at all the elements that supports a league to grow. The Nigerian Premier Football League has those elements. So what is missing? That is where our own confidence came in.
Okay. What
is missing was effective management of managing the ecosystem properly. That's what gave us the confidence. And
so how are you dealing with that?
And we believe that, yes, and we believe that we have that expertise to work with the board to deliver. And if you look at anybody following the league in the last 3 seasons, and this is the 4th season now, we realize there's some gradual progression in that regard compared to where we are coming from. We are not there yet.
Of course.
We are not there yet, but
it's a process.
It's a process, and one of the significant things that was achieved with this process yesterday was the signing of the broadcast rights and the data management and commercialization rights yesterday. These are very 2 significant elements that drives any league all over the world. Not just a league, every sport asset all over the world derives its real value from media, television and broadcast. Without broadcast and television, any sports property is not so valuable.
You talk about the contract agreement that was signed. That's on Wednesday, and Wednesday, that's on the 5th of November, precisely, here in Abuja. And incidentally, we were all there together when the contract was signed. And one of the questions I asked you, which I want our audience to also, enjoy the benefit of having that, you in your address, during the ceremony, you talked about how the event of Wednesday was a dream come true. That's been a long time coming. I was trying to find out how it happened, and what he told me was shocking to me, even as a journalist. And I imagine how it would be to the ordinary fan, that you've been the burden bearers of the Nigerian Premier Football League, for the past 4 seasons. Can you tell us more about that dream that had been long coming until it materialized on the 5th of November in Abuja with that contract signing with InView Technologies?
Thank you very much, Edwin. You see, like you asked the question, what did we see?
Yeah.
And why did we come in? And what did we think was the missing link? Now, it's a gradual process, because as at the time we came in to work with the board, the league was very challenged. It was not on television. There were so many negatives about the league. And we know that what drives sponsors and prospective quality partners is when the narratives are not positive. And obviously, some of the fundamentals you expect to see were not there. Now, you see, the league was at that level. And my boss, my group managing director in the GTI group, Abubakar Lawal, had this vision, and both of us keyed into that vision, that no Nigerian, nobody from outside Nigeria is going to help Nigeria. And that's one thing many Nigerians fail to understand. Only Nigerians will help Nigeria solve their problem. Every man's job is nobody's job. And we discovered that the league got to a point where somebody, an entity, had to stand up and bear the burden of the league to activate and energize this league, to enable it assume its proper place and to enable it assume its proper level. Now, we looked at the league, we looked at all the elements that is supposed to support a league. And we discovered that Nigeria has all those elements. And what has happened to our league? We have been using those elements to support other people's league. Why? Because they'll be able to manage their own well. And we felt if all of us leave the league at that level and say, oh, we keep emphasizing about the negatives of this league, we are not only hurting the league or damaging the league, we are directly and indirectly hurting ourselves, because the Nigerian Premier League is a national asset. It does not belong to any individual. It belongs to Nigeria. It is to serve the benefits of Nigeria. Is a platform for income and value distribution to all stakeholders. When you properly develop it, all stakeholders benefit from it. If you don't develop it, all stakeholders are losers. So if you are ascribing the league as saying, oh, when we badmouth this league or we run this league down, we say we are doing our job, there are certain jobs we need to do right. All the referees before we came in were having problems. They were not getting paid as at when due. We had to take the burden of taking care of all the referees' indemnity, their logistics, their accommodation. We had to take over that. Because one, a league without proper officiating integrity is no league.
Of course.
These are the core fundamentals. So we had to address all that, sit with the board. We also had to look at the incentive. Prior to our coming, what was the incentive for the winner of a Nigerian Premier League? And sometimes when those monies are announced, they are not even paid. We got to know that. We said, look, how can a whole club play a league for 9 months? At the end of the day, the prize money is not what will bring out the best in them. So from day one, we increased the prize money to 100 million. People said we are joking. That look, people can't pay this money now. We've had a lot of people come to speak grammar.
Yeah.
They said, well, we are on a mission. We didn't come to speak grammar. It was a very painful mission, stressful mission, like I mentioned. The only thing I do was think of how Nigerian football is going to improve. That's the only job I do. Sleep, think, work, put up proposals, put up a lot of events, how we're going in full cooperation, working with the NPFL board, and they've been very, very cooperative.
Yeah.
Yes, because they've also been involved in all this transformation process. So at the end of the league, we organize the Abridged League. The essence of organizing the Abridged League with the with the approval, support of the NPFL board and the approval of the NFL, let us first of all align our league to the international calendar.
The rest of the world, yeah.
That was achieved in year one. Okay. They say, oh, they are jokers. We are sure next season they cannot maintain it.
They'll go
back to the old way, where they say league will start on Monday. By Monday it will say on Thursday. By Thursday they say start on Tuesday. And we gave them the date the league was going to start. The following season, the league started. End of the season, the winner, a week after the season, they were paid 100 million. They were asking them, say, you mean you truly received this money? We said, no, next season we are increasing it to 150 million. They say people are joking.
And stability was creeping in.
And so if you now look at the league, the competitiveness of the clubs now increased significantly. Okay. Everybody now knew. So when people are seeing some of these things happening, they are wondering, why are these clubs? It was not a situation of where I play home, I must win again. You must actually play to win. Again, we also had to engage with the referees. The referees, I must commend them. They've done a fantastic job. Yeah. Even the sports press, we've engaged them severally. We said, okay, referees, you need to be fair. Your level of officiating must go up. The clubs must trust you, and I will give them credit for that. They've done well. So next season, Rangers won. In fact, it was glamorous. The build up to the match of Rangers winning that league that season, the Rangers Enyimba match that was going to decide who would take that 150 million. The 22,000 capacity stadium in Enugu was filled to overflowing.
Yes.
So it was not a case of fans not coming to the stadium again.
Thank you so much, and we're very happy that this deal signed between the NPFL, your organization, is taking our football to the next level. So my question now is, what are the key points of the MoU that was signed, this new one? Yes, you've been involved, you've stabilized our football, you've brought in so much money. Now, what are some of the new takeaways that make this particular MoU stand out?
Now, what made this one stand out? You know, I'll tell you, the second season we signed with Propel streaming. If you go on, if you go on
streaming every Saturday
on your phone now, on any mobile device, all you need to do is just download NPFL Live, and you can watch
very
minimum
clean.
But you can watch minimum of 6 live matches even simultaneously.
I remember.
Today we're able to achieve that. Now, what has made this particular one we signed yesterday unique? We are now going into a phase where we are saying you don't need to subscribe to watch Nigerian Premier League, because we are realized over the three seasons now, the fourth season that we have realized there's a gap. We need to grow the eyeballs. So one of the takeaway for that signing yesterday is that this delivery is going to ensure that the NPFL is on the television box of every Nigerian all over this country. How? They are going to be signing a partnership deal with 26 broadcast stations, state broadcasters. So even with your analog, with your decoder, with whatever device you have, the Nigerian Premier League is going to be in front of you. There's also the possibility of developing an app. We already have an app, but we are going to see how we can also improve the quality of production further and deploy additional cameras. So that is one aspect which is unique. So why? Because when you are able to deliver that, when they are able to deliver that solution, we'll now be talking about the Nigerian League attracting more than 40 million eyeballs across board, meaning that the Nigerian in the most smallest village, remote village, who can just pick television signals, knows that he has a station he can go to watch Nigerian Premier League when those matches are on. And there is going to be a dedicated channel for that, dedicated studio, dedicated channel for that, and it's going to run across. Then the other major takeaway, because that one is major, that was not there before, but it's there now. So in the past, it used to be the pay TV platform. And we all know that even if you look at the statistics of Nigerians that do subscription or have television all over the country, you agree that those with the analog television who are not on pay TV are even far more than those ones on pay TV. And we realize that that's a large chunk of a population somehow have not been given access. Again, even if you say streaming, not everybody can also have data to stream. So once you have that, your small antenna, you have the box, you can watch Nigerian Premier Football League. Major takeaway yesterday. And that major takeaway again. Today's sports is driven by data. Data is money. Sometimes sports journalists complain to me that they are not getting the kind of data they need from the league. They are not getting certain kind of information they need from the league. Yeah. So yesterday, a data management and commercialization deal was signed with Roundup Technologies Limited. They are going to deploy AI to be able to get data from all the matches of the league. Data on players, data on even the refereeing, data from different perspectives, and they are going to use that data. They are now going to commercialize that data to be able to deliver certain value to various stakeholders that are going to pay for those data. The league has never had that kind of thing before. Those are the two major significant takeaways from the signing yesterday.
Okay, quickly, listening to you now for the past almost 20 minutes now, somebody begin to wonder, all these for Nigerian Premier League. GTI, you not told us anything. The curious person there will begin to ask, what's the need for these people? What are you getting? Because for every business, it's about give and take. And football is a business. In as much as the first goal is entertainment, and you move to winning, it's business. So what's the need for GTI?
For GTI, yes, it's business for us, because if the league grows and start generating a lot of revenue, we can also make money from that growth. But as we speak today, we are still burden bearers because it has not started generating that kind of revenue. But you see, if you don't invest, like I always say, do not expect. There's one thing Nigerians must take away from this interview today. Many Nigerians are asking a lot from NPFL. Many Nigerians want NPFL to be A, B, C, D, E. Yeah. But Nigerians are not asking themselves, how much have they invested in NPFL?
Yeah. As Nigerians.
As Nigeria, as a country, with the number of big organizations we have in this country, with the number of high net worth people we have in this country, for 4 seasons, GTI has borne the burden. No single company among all the companies in Nigeria that has come to sponsor this league and invest in this league. I'll tell you the truth. It is not good for Nigeria. Like I said, you don't think the man from UK or France will come and develop your own. No matter how excited about their clubs there, they invested their time and money to get that thing you are excited about. The only way you can get to their own level, you must invest your own time and money on your own product too. If you watch any of the leagues, we all watch some of these leagues, you see minimum of 10 sponsors, 15 sponsors, 20 sponsors, and we now say Nigeria, giant of Africa, Nigeria, the fifth producer of oil in the world, Nigeria, banks that are conquering the whole of Africa, yet not one of them is investing in that sport, that single activity that cuts across tribe, that single activity that breeds religion, that single activity that the whole Nigerians can keep them happy, keep them away from crime, even enhance your corporate social responsibility. That single activity that you will watch and you'll be happy about. We are not investing in it.
Football.
So
Absolutely.
It's a challenge to all sports journalists.
Yes.
They must knock on all the corporate doors of Nigeria and tell them, if you don't invest, don't expect. I'll tell you why I say Nigeria Premier League has the potential of being the most viable league in Africa. What are those elements? Youth population. 70% of Nigerian youth population, youth. How many countries have the youth population we have, even in Africa and in Europe? 2, football talent. Nigeria has so much football talent, but what has happened? We have a system that cannot even retain the average talent in global football. So what has happened to us? All our talent has been exported to go and create value for other people, while we starve our own of value. 3, passion. Do Nigerians have passion for football? It is that passion other people outside Nigeria are exploiting to take a lot of resources out of this country. Meaning, if we develop our own, many of those resources will be retained. 4, population, which you call number. which you call market. We have the population, we have the market. What have we done with it? We have not used it very well. What has happened to that market? Other people have come to feast on that market to take all the value that we are supposed to retain. And what is the missing gap? The only missing gap is this. We refuse to invest, and we expect so much. And we do all our analysis and criticism expecting something from what you have not invested in. But like I said, what we have only done as GTI is to create the pathway, to tell Nigeria that today in this league, there's proper accountability. That is why you've not heard of any financial misappropriation in the league. There's proper transparency. Clubs win home, they win away. There is no big boy in this league, home and away again. There's proper transparency. There's proper what you call competitive balance. What is the competitive balance? Sometimes the outcome of Nigerian Premier League, you may not even be able to predict again, because every club now is fighting to win the ultimate prize. And beyond that, we can still do more. So Nigeria has that potential. And you made mention of something. How do we go back to the days in the past when the Nigerian League was so thick, where the Nigerian League produced the bulk of the national team players, where even as a foreign base, it was not easy for you to have a stroll into the Nigerian League? Yeah. I will tell you what happened then. Then the big corporations were in the Nigerian League. The Leventis United of this world.
Yeah.
The Nigerian Bank of this world.
Julius Berger
of this world.
Union Bank.
BCC Lions of this world. DICBs of this world. Abiola. So the billionaires had their own role. The billionaires then were playing their role. What is the role? You had the Abiola Babes. You had the A1 National. You had the Flash Flamingos. You have Eagle Cement. What is the missing gap today? The billionaires have left the scene.
Yeah.
What is the missing gap today? The big corporations that are supposed to take their place, they have left the scene. And they all sit back and they say they are expecting. The question I ask, expecting what? What are you expecting?
It is said that when there's no pain, no gain. You plant before you can reap.
You have not planted.
Planting season and harvest season. And so we want to assume that is the period we're in now is the planting season for GTI.
For GTI and for Nigerians.
Yeah. Okay.
Not GTI. What we've only done is work with the league to create the platform, make the atmosphere very conducive for everybody to
and show others what we can do.
And make everybody come and take their own rightful place. Let the Nigerian high net worth investors come and take their place. Let the big corporations in Nigeria, like their counterparts in Europe, like their counterparts in America, like their counterparts in even other smaller African countries, let them come and take their role in our football ecosystem. We need them and they need us. It's a mutual.
Okay. As we wrap up, it is very obvious that football management system in Nigeria is still, having this kind of interferences from the political class. You see state governors using it as a show of, as opportunity for them to launder their image, ahead of elections, and after they leave office, the club begins to struggle again about it. A new governor comes and wants to use that role. It goes on and on. If you remember Enyimba Football Club and the time of Oji Zakalo is a very typical example. Since Oji Zakalo left Abia State as a governor, we really hear much about Enyimba. So how are you dealing with the interference of political class?
You see, let's believe everything comes in phases.
Okay.
We are in a phase now where we must transit out of this phase. There was a phase before.
Okay.
And we have a phase now. And it is very obvious to every Nigerian, this phase is not working. Except we don't want to be honest with ourselves. So, what do we do is to appreciate what they have done so far. And to let's tell ourselves the truth. You see, when our management are working with the NPFL board and NFF to manage this asset, we always have this principle in GTI concerning this project. It's not about us and the generation today. It's about the generation yet to come. What are we leaving behind for them? That they didn't leave something tangible for us. Must we allow this to continue? And since we know we are running a model that is strange to international best practice, the model we are running is the ownership structure model we are running today here. It is strange to international best practice. We know. So if we know, then we must be sincere enough to transit. And that is why our next phase of this project is the transition phase, where we need to transit and go back to when it worked and how it is working in other countries. We saw what happened to one of our clubs recently.
Yeah.
It is that phase that is showing that weakness. It is that phase that is showing that weakness. So we need to correct that phase, because many of the leagues, some of us go and wear their jersey, excited. We even want to cry when they lose matches. The question you ask yourself, which is what I'm asking some of them putting on that jersey now, is the owner of that club a governor? Is the one managing that club a governor? The governors have done their best. They've done their own bits to hold forth. They've tried. But it is high time we appreciate them. Let them leave the scene so we can go into proper football clubs ownership that will be sustainable for us and our children to come, and also will have the ability to retain talent.
Yes.
Ability to retain talent. Retention of talent has to do with incentive and reward system.
Yeah.
If the reward system is good, the talent will stay. And we know what can induce that reward system and how it is being done in other countries. And we know that the system we have today, it is challenged in that aspect. So we need to actually transit from this phase and move to the next phase, where we can now build something very, very sustainable and good for the football ecosystem.
Yeah, so much, and it's on that note we have to say very big thanks to you, Mr. Nelson, Ineh, for coming on Talking Sports or Voice of Nigeria. Thank you so much. Martin Dixon,
yes.
Any parting word?
So on the final note, like, what should be the watchword for Nigerian football lovers going forward with this new partnership?
Nigerian football lovers should expect something better. Better in terms of production, better in terms of distribution, better in terms of everybody having the access to watch Nigerian Premier Football League, irrespective of whatever device they are using, and expecting that even people that has been longing to have the right kind of data from the league, those are going to be very available now. And we expect Nigerian lovers to see significant increase in the value of the NPFL and by extension the football ecosystem, which is also going to support the various national teams.
All right, thank you. And it's on that note we'll come to the end of this edition of Talking Sports. Of course, you've heard from the executive director of GTI Asset Management and the Trust, who are doing something new in the Nigerian football ecosystem. Of course, it's something new, and we hope that this planting season will lead to a very bumper harvest that all Nigerians will enjoy now and then the future generation. So from me, Edwin Akwe, and Maximo Dixon, we say thank you so much and bye for now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.